What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fig Heel YouTube channel. And today, we're going to be taking a look at all of the wrestling action figure reveals that we saw this week. All right, guys. So these weeks have been super heavy with action figure reveals for the wrestling figure community. And last week was insane. We actually had to do 2 full reveal videos because that was the amount of massive volume of stuff that we saw last week. This week, not as voluminous, but still some pretty cool stuff. Things that kind of shocked us. Flew under the radar and we didn't really see coming, but we're going to get right into it. As always, we start with the independent stuff. We move up to the AEW and WWE stuff, and we're going to start off not with the Fig Heel belt, but we're going to start off with Title Run Toys. They showed off concept art figure input for Chronic. Now, for those of you that may not remember or know, Chronic was a tag team in the WCW era that featured Brian Clark and Brian Adams, aka Adam Bomb and Crush from the WWF days. This is going to be a 2-pack retro style figure set, which is pretty cool because both of these guys had Hasbro figures in the original line, and they never had figures as Chronic. They were supposed to get Toy Biz figures. They never did, and now they are finally getting Chronic figures, albeit their major bendies will definitely be in hands before these, but still a very cool ode to their original WWF characters. But as I said, Brian Clark, Brian Adams getting a Chronic 2-pack by Title Run Toys, and I'm not exactly sure since this is just figure input, but based on the way that Title Run Toys worded the post of this, it sounded like this is something that's going to be pumped out quicker, even quicker than the main line. So we shall see what is going to happen with that, but Chronic are getting more than just one set of figures in 2025. We also saw from Rush Collectibles, staying in the vein of retro figures, his Monster Masters line, which is Hasbro style monsters, right? It's got Van Helsing, it's got Frankenstein, it's got the creature from the Black Lagoon, it's got Nosferatu. He showed off concept art of a wrestling ring, Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory ring. And honestly, I think it is incredible. I love it. You could see the shock waves are actually the ropes. There's only 2 ropes, not 3. But, you know, this isn't a wrestling ring. It is a monster ring. And I'm not talking about jacks. But if you look at the detail of it, it's very, very cool with all the bricks and all of the designs. You see the lights on top of each post. Very, very cool. And I do know that his Kickstarter did very well for these. So, hey, maybe there is a market for people who want these monster figures and they will want this ring. However, I will say I do think wrestling rings in the indie space are very, very tough sell. But we shall see. KWK, Kayfabe Heroes, they showed off carded final production pieces of their La Resistance figures from the Kayfabe Heroes. I believe this is Series 2, and here we have Rene Dupree and Sylvain Grenier Variant A, which is limited to 200 each. So 200 Renes, 200 Sylvans, and you'll notice that there is a Variant B as well that has the same 2 guys from La Resistance, Rene and Sylvain, but Variant B is limited to only 100, which makes me question how many Variant C is limited to, because usually Variant C is going to have 100. So maybe there's 2. We shall see. But the flags for each of these figures is going to be, separate. They're not going to be on the package. They're going to be in the baggies, just like the Conquistadors, and each has their own respective flag, which I think is pretty cool. We also saw final production pieces from the golden era of wrestling, Matt Maniac's Legion of Doom, and I do think these look excellent. This form factor just isn't for me, but I do think the quality is there. You know, a lot of people comparing these to Hasbro's. I don't see the Hasbro comparison other than the fact of the actual scale of it, but I don't think that these will fit in very well with Hasbro's. To me, this is its own form factor, and it's going to have its own shelf personally, which is why I'm out on this. Unless they really, really expand out, I think it's an easy pass for me, but I do love the art of these. And FC Toys showed off their upcoming Wrestle Something Wrestlers, Steph Delander. And you'll notice she's in her Princess Peach style gear. Everything I see here looks great. The piercings, the eyebrow cuts, the hair color, the middle finger, all of the pinks, the shininess of it, everything about it is awesome. And it's got me wondering, Chelsea's in this line. Steph Delander's in this line. Does that mean that there's going to be a Matt Cardona to match? I really hope so. I would love to see a matching Matt Cardona in here, but I don't know because I do know he is signed with Zombie Sailor Toys, and I don't know if there's some discrepancies there, but I think there's a market for it. And my favorite reveal that we saw this week, we saw Rick the Model Martel from Mitch over at Hastel Toy. Awesome. You notice he's got the Arrogance Vaporizer. He's got that light baby powder blue on the trunks and knee pads. That smile on the face looks just like him. He's got the glasses. He's got the sweater draped over his shoulders. There it is on the side. You see that it even says Arrogance on it. I thought it looked great. Had removable glasses and everything, but a lot of people wanted to see, molded on glasses. And sure enough, he came through and he improved this sculpt even more so. See how the hair is different. You notice that the glasses go into the hair, so it's going to be all one mold. And number one thing for me, he added the long laces on Rick Martel, which is a signature for his look. It's what really separates his original Legends Elite and makes it elite for me. But as usual, Mitch loves to get input from the crowd, and he showed off two renders that are slightly different. Variant A is going to have either the light blue wrist tape, light blue boots with dark blue laces, or you can pick B, which is going to have the white tape, dark blue boots, and the white laces. So that right there, for me, I voted for A, and I think a lot of people did. So I got to assume that's going to be the one we're seeing. However, I don't see why you don't do both. You're already paying the molding. You might as well just pay to have the additional deco hits on this one be different. So we shall see, but I am loving these Rick the Model Martels. Then FC Toys also showed off Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 2, which Jeff Jarrett is shipping very soon. They showed off samples of Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, and they look pretty good. I don't see as Jack's BCA-esque molds as I did on the previous BCW figures, but maybe that's the idea. They want to kind of expand out into their own style molds. Things are a little bit different here, but I do think they look good. I could see a young Matt Hardy in that face sculpt, and also Jeff Hardy here. It seems like his neck's a little long, so I'm hoping that head sits down a little bit lower. But again, I think these are great. Brood Hardys, I would really love to see him. Since he has the Hardy Boys, I would really like to see original Hardys, with the headbands and the pants that they stitch themselves. I think that would be a really fun sell. Then Ringside Collectibles showed off in stock is the new masked El Desperado, the red masked El Desperado from Storm Collectibles. Looks pretty cool. It's got the fringe on the pants, a lot of articulation. I think the articulation of these Storm figures is second to none. It is a lot of fun, especially with how they cover up certain points of the articulation. So if you're into this, it's available now on Ringside Collectibles. It's an exclusive, and you can use code FIGHEAL to save 10%. A lot of great detail on this figure, but it's an easy pass for me. Then Big Shots showed off some exclusively limited to only 250 Triple H and Shawn Michaels DX versions of them, which I think is pretty cool. Gotta be one of the best likenesses on the buddies yet. This looks just like 1998 Triple H. I love the tights with the green Triple H on there, and he has the DX shirt. The only downfall for me is that it doesn't have two words "suck it" on the back. But it is a toy, so I get it. But limited to only 250. What does that mean? There's three different versions. So there's 257 inches, 250 16-inch ones, and 250 22-inch ones, or I think it's 21. But so technically like 750, but the original size ones would go in line with the 21-inch. So I would say go with that one. And there's the Shawn Michaels. In my opinion, this has to be the best Big Shots they've done. I would love to get this. This thing is amazing. I love all the DX hearts around it. Everything about it. The greens pop. I think they nailed the look of this. He even has his tattoo on the side, which I think is great. My only issue with this is The 21-inch ones are $90 plus shipping. They're very, very expensive. They're high quality stuff. It's just a lot of money to spend on one item, right? But I mean, this thing is phenomenal. To me, this is the best one they've done. Even got the hair right. Everything about this is a home run. Again, this is limited to 250 as well with the 7-inch, 16-inch, and 21-inch. Funko showed off a new bobblehead this week, and I gotta say, this one trumps all the other ones they've shown recently. Eddie Guerrero, and it's very, very nice. It has a base that says Eddie Guerrero in a nice little ombre. It has the low rider leaning to one side with a rose on it, and then it has him coming out the top and his signature arms up. Only 225 of these are ever going to be made. Hand painted, handcrafted, very cool items coming from Funko. So if you are an Eddie Guerrero fan, I would get over there and pick this up ASAP. Then we saw a bunch of new Funko Pops, and that is Gunther, Io Sky, Stacy Keibler, LA Knight. We saw a different LA Knight last week, X-Pac, and Shawn Michaels. Couple things to talk about here. Shawn Michaels, what is that kick? That is not a super kick. That is, as I said on the Case Fresh podcast, that looks like the Three Ninjas on the cover of the VHS. Why is he like that? So much so that Fig Vault made a nice little graphic of exactly that. The Three Ninjas, very, very cool with these Shawn Michaels, and it cracks me up. The Gunther has way too many like frown lines and like emaciation in there. I'm not a huge fan of that. Very toyetic with Io Sky, and I'm gonna pass on that, to be honest with you. The LA Knight somehow with no eyes, no mouth, looks just like him. Blows my mind. And then we have Stacy Keibler, who, when I first saw this, I had no idea who it was. I was like, I think it's Tori Wilson. I'm really not sure. Like, I couldn't really tell. Why is this the Stacy Keibler version we got? I feel like they definitely, since we are getting Dudley Boys, should have done like Dudley era Stacy. I think it would have been way more toyetic. And the DX X-Pac is very cool. I'm so accustomed to Pops not having mouths and tongues that it's kind of weird when they do. And they do occasionally. It just stands out so much that I don't like it. But the thing I noticed was that Shawn Michaels is number 141 in the WWE Funko Pops, and that fills in one of the missing spaces over time. So if you follow the numbers on the Funko Pop boxes, there is a bunch of gaps in the WWE ones, and they've started to fill them in, and this is one of them. But moving on, we also saw a Smith's exclusive Bloodline Rules The Rock and Roman Reigns 2-pack. A lot of things to talk about here. This is a WrestleMania XL ring, which is beautiful. It's a green base and it has the WrestleMania logo. I was there. I need to get this, and I'm worried that this is going to be a complete UK exclusive. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. I'm not going to jump the gun on this one. Usually I do, and then it shows up in the States, so we shall see. But let's look at these figures. Typical Roman, but you do have The Rock in his WrestleMania XL gear, which is very, very nice. I think the artwork on this box is the star of the show, though. Look at Cena giving a super kick to Solo. Jay jumping out to attack Jimmy. You got The Rock hitting Seth Rollins up, and then Roman spearing Cody. The artwork is just incredible. But now let's look at the toy itself. Here we have The Rock and Roman in the green WrestleMania XL ring, and I absolutely love it. That thing pops with all those Eagles green colors. Love this. I need this. I do need to get my hands on this. This is actually a ring that I will open up and probably display. I was there with my buddy Tommy. I know Fig Vault was there. A lot of people met up with My Damn Toys there. Great time. Great time. Here's another shot of them in the ring, which I love. I think it's such a cool action shot that they got right there. And then here is the piece layout. So yeah, a lot of great stuff this week. So comment below your favorite thing that they showed off and what are you most looking forward to. Now, this WrestleMania XL ring is listed on Smith's right now. So if you're in the UK, you can pick it up right now. I believe it's $29.99 over there, which I believe translates to about double that here-ish. So a lot of cool stuff that we saw this week, as always. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. Come back next week for the reveals and keep coming back to the channel for all of our unboxings. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're into it, you can pick up my new book, The Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need Fig Heel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. featuring over 5,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With shots by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Premium, full-color, and value black and white editions available now on Amazon. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeal. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeal. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at WhatHeal.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.